my video last week, I demonstrated a bit of AI software, and I've been kind of boring people with it ever since, playing them the stuff that I've done. And there seems to be a lot of resistance from musicians about AI, and I really don't understand why. And I think they don't understand it and don't realise what you can do with it. So I'm going to try and show you in this video some of the cool things that I've been doing with it to try and convince people that it's not such a bad thing after all. Now also, I seem to have had more people unsubscribe from my channel in the week since I did this video. So maybe I'm imagining it, but I mean, it's not been loads, but I've been looking at the numbers. They've gone up, then they've gone back down again. That doesn't normally happen. So I think maybe people are really quite angry about this whole AI thing and angry with me for saying that I liked it. So I'm going to try and show you how I've been using it and why I think it's useful. Now, I'm not one of these kind of AI proponents. I'm not that bothered. I very rarely use ChatGPT unless Google or my phone forces me to use it. And I've dabbled very briefly with these kind of image creation things and decided they weren't for me. I couldn't really make them do anything that looked any good. And I did, ages ago, I did a thing with a bit of early AI music generation software, and that wasn't very good either. But this thing I've got now, which is called musiccreator.ai, and I'll put the link in the bio if you're interested after this video at looking at it. I've been really inspired by it as a tool, not something to write for me or do creative things for me, but to do kind of practical things for me. Now, I'm aware why people might be more generally worried about AI and the sort of implications about whether it's going to become sentient and take over the world. And also there's the thing about the energy usage, which I do think is something that you need to think about. But I don't think this bit of music creation software is going to be one of those things that's going to become sentient and take over the world. Now, I only heard for the first time a bit of AI generated music a few months ago. And what happened was I ended up having to do a gig last minute. I was actually in bed, not feeling very well, and I'd missed a couple of phone calls. And what had happened, somebody's car had broken down, and I had to rush in and save the gig at the last minute. And the guy who booked us for the gig had been playing around with some AI software, and he used various things to generate the lyrics. But he put all these things in this bit of software to tell the story of what happened about the gig nearly not happening. And it was kind of in the style of Eminem, I think. I don't know anything about that kind of music. But it was really, really funny. I'm going to just find a little bit of that and play it to you.
Enter Rob Desmond, booking agent supreme. He's pissed as hell, but he's working the dream. Calls up Tom Walker, mutual homie, the GOAT. Yo, Tom, save this gig or I'm slit my own throat. Tom's with his fam, chilling, living the life. But he drops it all, no stress, no strife. Piles in his whip, guitar strapped in the back. Drives like a madman, yo, he's picking up slack. Tom rolls up to the wedding, crowd's going wild. Sammy's still stuck, looking dumb as a child. Benji finally shows sax, blaring violin too. Mom pulls up late, like what I missed through. Tom steals the...
So it kind of carries on a bit like that. It tells a story. It's got swearing in it. It's really funny. And I kind of, when he played it to me, he said he'd been playing these bits of music that he'd been creating to lots of musicians, and they were all saying the same things. That's it. We're finished. We're not required anymore. This is going to take over the world. And that wasn't my reaction. My immediate reaction was, oh, that's great. I could really do something with this. And I think the reason I thought that, maybe, when I thought about it a bit more, is that the thing in this bit of music that he sent me, which I thought was great, wasn't the sort of generic, whatever that type of music is. It was the lyrics that he'd made up and the human element, the thing that he created, and by putting that sort of human element on top of this computerized thing, somehow that made it funny. And I thought, well, it's the human bit that makes it work. The rest of it is kind of a tool and a platform. So with that in mind, now I've got this bit of software, I'm going to show you what I've done. So the first thing I did when I got this bit of software, I put in one of my completed lyrics and then told it to generate a bit of music for me. Now let me play you a little bit of this. And I have to say, I didn't think it was very good, actually, in all honesty. It kind of misinterprets the lyrics, and it's a difficult one. It sort of puts the stress in the wrong place. Let me play it to you.
Guess you were born to be a drifter, so you never put down roots. Moving with your daddy's work and his shinier pursuits. You stick around just long enough to keep me satisfied.
So that's what it came out with. It was a kind of 90s country sounding thing. It wasn't really... It had a very... The chorus, it interpreted the lyrics very strangely, and it was a really uninspiring melody. It was a real standard sort of chord sequence. And I have to say, I hadn't, until this point, I've now tried generating some lyrics with this, because I was thinking, the one thing that I can be creative to start with and see what it does with the music is these lyrics that I've spent ages writing. So actually, today, I decided I was going to generate some lyrics. And annoyingly, it doesn't show you the prompt anymore. Let me make the screen big, hang on. So hopefully you can see these lyrics just above me here. I'll read them out. But so basically I told it to... I gave it the title, With and Without You, which is the lyrics of my song. And I told it to basically write a song about someone who lives with someone who's a drifter who keeps disappearing off. And this is what it came up with. Sun coming up an old dirt road, wind whispers through the pines. Two massive kind of country cliches there. Coffee's on, your suitcase waits, another day you're mine. You drift in like the summer rain. Now, this is interesting. There's two particular things that I've got in my song, which either means my song is cliched or it's because it knows it's the same title, it's taken these things from my song, which I've uploaded prior to doing this. But you drift in like the summer rain. In my song, it says like the summer rain, the winter sun, or something. I can't remember. And the other one, it says, I say, you leave the screen door slamming in the middle of the night. Or you leave the screen door swinging in the middle of the night. And here it says, I let the screen door slam when you're ready to go. So these lyrics, they're kind of, there's some sort of ideas there, but there's a map folded in your pocket, dreams written on your skin. So what I did, I created that, and see, I don't think that's very good. And I then asked it to generate a bit of music using these lyrics. And I thought, now this is completely letting AI do its thing. I've given it a very basic idea. And I'm just showing you this to prove my argument that the more you put in, the more creative you are, the better the stuff you get out. And if you don't ask it to do anything particularly creative, with the odd exception, it's not good at it, but it does the other stuff quite well. So this is it. One of the things it's generated just from the lyrics.
Sun coming up on an old dirt road, wind whispers through the pines. Coffee's on and your suitcase waits, another day you're mine. You're drifting like the summer rain, tumbleweed rolling wild and free. I hold you close just long enough to know you'll always leave.
It sounds sweet, like even with its own lyrics, it kind of puts the stress incorrectly to me, or in a strange way. And there's something about it. It is what it is. It sounds to me like it's gone and scoured lots of that kind of music and pulled it all together. It's like a stereotype or an archetype of that kind of music. Very cleverly done. I mean, to get that so quickly. I mean, what did it take? A couple of minutes to generate that. It's very, very clever, but there's nothing in it. It's very bland. It's very nothingy. Compared to something that you kind of add something to yourself. I mean, it's very difficult to judge your own music, but that to me sounds very bland. And I have to say that the lyrics it kind of comes up with, they're almost like when you hear songs that people who aren't used to writing songs have only just started doing it and haven't looked into it, it comes up with very, very cliched rhymes, very cliched lines in total. I mean, this is better. This is coming up with slightly deeper, more cliched lines like the red dirt, the truck thing. Before we go any further, I'm just going to play you a little bit of the song that I'm basing most of this on. This is one of the songs that's on my album. Which one's it on? Oh, it's on my second album, I think, which is called Halfway to Somewhere.
Guess you were born to be a drifter, so you never put down roots. Moving with your daddy's work and your shady upper suits. So you stick around.
So that's my version. It's got brass and everything on it. It's all live instruments, recorded the drums in a studio. A lot of the rest of it was done kind of during lockdown, so we were kind of swapping stuff from our home studios apart from the drums. So let me show you what I've now done with that. So the next thing I did when I got this bit of software was then I tried putting in first of all, I put in like an acoustic version. So what it does, if you put this in, you have to put all the lyrics in, and you put in, and this is the way I've been using it most. I've just done a version. I put a drum loop down with a bass and an acoustic guitar, and I sing the melody, and then I put the lyrics in so it gets the lyrics right, and hopefully it copies the melody. So it's not doing anything creatively, it's basically doing a cover version of my song, but it's just producing it up and singing it. So let me play you a little bit of this.
But you were born to be a drifter, so you never put down roots, moving with your daddy's work and his shady pursuits. You stick around just long enough to keep me safe.
Which to me, that's great. I've now got a version, a kind of almost a finished sounding version of the song. So I can use that now to kind of tweak the lyrics and hear what it's sounding like in context. So that's showing you what it can do with a completed lyric with just a simple demo. And I've got a kind of extended metaphor I'm going to use here. I consider this like that demo I've done. In fact, let me play the demo that I input, 'cause that's probably quite a useful thing to show you. So this is the acoustic version I've uploaded to here of me just singing and playing with a bit of bass and drums on it.
You were born to be a drifter, so you never put down roots, moving with your daddy's work and your shady pursuits.
So it's a complete track, all the words, the entire melody. There's no harmony vocals or anything on that. It's just guitar, bass and drums and a vocal. And so this extended metaphor I'm going to give you, I consider that to be like a sketch. But what this gives me is like getting a sketch and being able to put it into a computer program, and it comes out looking like, not being, a finished work of art, or say a finished painting, or say put my sketch that I've done here and turn it into a full colour painting to give me an idea of what it might look like. And to extend that metaphor, it's almost like I've got this painting and now I can look at it kind of finished, think of it in context and realise, hang on a minute, that doesn't quite look right, I'm not sure about those colours I've used, I'm not sure about the composition, and I can tweak it then before I then start painting it from scratch and building it. And where that helps me is when I demo a song, I get to the point where I've written the song, so I've got that kind of acoustic demo, but it needs to be better than that to play to people. And then I will complete my demo of it. I'll get maybe live drums on it, or I'll do better programmed drums. I'll play all of the instruments, I'll sing it all. But then when I play it to people, I'm no longer worrying about the song. I'm obsessing over my vocal delivery, which I'm never happy with. I'm worrying about the mix, I'm worrying about the production. I don't have to worry about any of those things when I put it into this, because that's all done for me. And I always prefer things that someone else has done to what I've done myself. I'm so critical of the things that I've done myself. It makes it very hard. But when I've got this, it takes away all of that, and it does it in seconds. To get to the point where I've got something that kind of complete to then analyse and work on myself, it would take me forever, but it takes 3 minutes with this. So my next step with these things I'm playing with, these versions, I'm now taking those as a template to then start work on my own full production. And actually, the way the AI vocal delivers this, it's so stylistically good and so perfect. It's a good place to start. I'm not going to try and copy it exactly, but there's certainly ways it's phrased certain things which are very genre specific and really good the way it's done, because it's trawled these things, and that's where these things are very good. It has kind of encapsulated that genre, and it doesn't matter with those kind of things necessarily where they're cliche, because it's a certain language and a way of singing which you kind of need to copy to make it sound like it. So then the next step, and this was the interesting one, is I uploaded the full version of I've got some other songs here which you might be able to see as I'm scrolling past, but these are brand new songs that I haven't released. But there are songs that I've got here from uploading the finished version of my songs, and it's amazing how it's copied the guitar lines, it's copied the guitar style on one of the versions, and I'm going to look for it now, but it's come up with little guitar lines in between the choruses, which I think are brilliant. They're better than I came up with. It's taken the original version, it doesn't put the brass in, but it's put my guitar intro lines in, but it's put these little lines in the chorus, which I didn't think of, and I think they're great.
Put 'em with my broken heart someplace I never looked. Like the winter sun or the summer rain, I never know when you'll be back again. Like a shooting star or the bluest moon.
Great. I might take that and put that in my final version, if I do a final version. Now, there is one thing that it also did really well, which I thought was really exciting, and I really like this. It did a kind of vocal, I couldn't sing this amazing vocal thing at the end.
Like a winter sun or the summer rain, I never know when you'll be back again. Like a shooting star or the bluest moon, baby, I'll wait, but it's tearing me in two. I just have to live with and without you.
None of this was on the machine. This was just from the acoustic version. That whole time, that wasn't there. Perhaps I should feel bad. I love that. I find it very exciting. I don't know why. I've been really enjoying listening to. I put them on in the car, enjoying listening to these songs because, as I say, it's the one thing that when I do my own songs, when I listen back to my versions of it, I'm so critical of my own performance. It detracts from the song. Whereas this is, I can completely concentrate on the song. I wish I could sing like that. So my conclusion here, I've convinced anybody that this is a good tool, not something to be fearful of, but something that you can use usefully. Not a thing to use creatively, I don't think, or not, not trying to get it to generate the music or the lyrics for you. The odd thing, like I just proved, with the odd little line here and there, that can spark an idea. I'm not going to copy those ideas, but it's a great idea, putting a little guitar line in between that chorus vocal, which I hadn't thought of before. I might not use that line, but if I do the production, I might put something of my own creation in there. And I think for me, getting that very quick mock-up of a finished product, it inspires me to want to get my own finished product done. I'm going to replace everything on there. I'm not going to release anything with any of the AI generated stuff. I can do it all myself. I mean, I suppose not some people using this aren't able to do that, but I can do that. I've been doing it a long time, and I can create the full track, whether I can get it to sound as good as that. In fact, I've kind of set myself a challenge now. I want to not recreate them, but I want to use this as a template to now record these tracks, not the one I've already done, but these new ones that it's enabled me to finish. I've been trying to finish these songs for 10 years, and I haven't been able to get that last bit done because I can't get a version in my head that sounds like this. So I can now use these versions as a template, and it gives me something to aim at, production-wise, sound quality-wise, vocal-wise, which I think is really useful and inspiring. And the thing is as well, I think what other people think is, anyone can do it now. It detracts from the fact that you've spent years learning your craft, learning how to write music. Well, I don't think it does. For me, it's kind of, the more you put into it, the more you know, the more you're going to get out of it. Somebody who doesn't know anything about music and goes in here, who's never written a lyric, they're going to go, can you write me a song about this, then add the music to that lyric? They're not going to get anything very good. But if you know what you're doing, you've written the music, you've written the lyric, you put the tune in, you can put, as I showed you, you can put in arrangement ideas if you want, if you don't want it to come up with it. and you're going to get so much more out of it, and it's going to sound great. I was thinking it's kind of like now everybody has a camera in their pocket on their phones, but it doesn't mean that there's not these amazing photographers who still take better pictures than everyone else. Just because everyone's got the tools doesn't mean that everyone can use them properly, or has got the eye for it with a camera or the ear for it with music. They're just tools. It doesn't mean that everyone can do it now. It means everyone can get a better sounding demo than they could, well, I was going to say 20 years ago, but probably 20 weeks ago. And I used this analogy in my last video. It's like, it's a disruptive technology. It's when the camera was invented, people who were painting pictures to look like nature, look like things that you see, they suddenly thought, well, what's the point now? I've spent all this time learning how to paint what I can see, and I don't need it. People can just take a picture. Well, it had the opposite effect. It meant that people now were freed up to not have to paint what they saw in nature, and they could be expressive and make it look not like you'd see in a photograph. So it's the same with this. It can kind of free you up to concentrate on the creative side, because this is doing the nuts and bolts bits for you. Or how about having a calculator for maths? It doesn't mean that now anyone can do maths. It just means that you can do more complicated maths. So I'm all for it. I still think most people can tell if something's been created whole cloth by AI, and it's not as good, it's not as interesting. I put these songs on in the car, the one it generated itself. I turned it off halfway through because it was boring. So I don't think that it's going to enable people who don't know what they're doing to release loads of music. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you are maybe convinced. Have a look at that link for this bit of software I've been using. In the link, there's my affiliate link, and I think I might make some money if you click on the link via my thing. I bring out new videos 7 PM UK time every Friday, and I'm going to leave you with a bit of one of my songs with a video generated by this software, which I didn't think was particularly good, but anyway, I'll leave you with that, and I hope to see you next week.
I stretch out in my king size just to find you're gone again. Everyone must think you're my imaginary friend. I pack up all your things again, memories I wish you took, and put them with my broken heart someplace I never look. Like a winter sun or the summer rain, I never know, and you'll be back again. Like a shooting star or the bluest moon, maybe I'll wait, but it's tearing me in two. I'll just have to live with and without you. Next time that I find you gone, it should be me that's moving on. You're the last bad habit that I can't quit, but there ain't a lot left of me to give. Like the winter sun or the summer rain, I never know.